I still have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our year. Thanks for joining us. We're proudly brought to you by Speight, the TAB, Scropping and the mighty One New Zealand Warriors. Proudly hosted at full time. Cheers, mate. We've got a ripper for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And we're just going to invite them straight up onto the stage. Please give a beautiful our year welcome to Mr. Otere Black and Te Ao Pewhairangi. Thanks for joining us, boys. So, first of all, tell us how you know each other.
Oh, thanks for having us. Pretty much known each other since we were, I don't know, maybe 2 years old. Grew up in the Manawatu in Palmerston North. Two little Māori kids just running around with Māori families, so our siblings are pretty much all the same age. Me and Teao are the same age, and yeah, we just grew up together and been mates ever since.
Man. Oh, sorry, you go, Teao.
We had a really different upbringing, bro. We didn't start learning English until we were at high school.
High school?
Yeah.
So sorry if our English is
second language.
And there were only two families who only spoke Māori.
Wow.
And it was mine and Oatsie's, and so
That is incredible,
we're mates
bro.
because I had no one else to talk to.
So you're same age, aren't you? Okay. So you left school before he left school?
No, we both graduated in
Oh,
2012, yeah. And we just turned 30 last month, and we went to State of Origin to celebrate.
True. You're not twins, are you? No.
So usually, boys, we do this alone, but we thought we'd get you up for this part. So we're just going to recap the weekend that's been, and we're starting off with the wahine, the Warriors, who are starting to string it together. We had Ivana Lauitiiti, daughter of Ali, score an amazing try and probably one of the hits of the year, Jello. But you know, this we had Tyra Witiri debuting as well as Ivana. The future's bright.
It is, mate. It is. In fact, Ivana Lauitiiti, she's actually our freak of the week.
Well deserved.
There's a few candidates, but she takes it out. Some highlights from that big first try that she scored. There she is, post-match debut. And there's the try that she scored.
Conditions deteriorate. Here's Lauitiiti. And on debut!
Just like her old man. Just like her old man.
Do it plenty of times.
Did you fellas grow up watching
Ivana
Ali?
Lauitiiti making a name for
Michael Jordan of
herself.
Rugby League.
First ever NRLW game, and she gets a try. Well done, Ivana Lauitiiti.
She put on this big hit too. Absolutely cleaned out the fullback. We got that one.
This is one of the hits of the year, actually.
Ivana Lauitiiti. There's a kick from Curtin. Whitfeld. Oh, whack! Lauitiiti! Get that in here! What a shot!
See, that doesn't look like someone it's their first game, does it? Can you remember your first game, professional debut?
Yeah, it was pretty much like that, but I was the one getting smashed. That's why I remember it.
Who'd you play for your debut?
It was for back in the Turbos days, the Manawatu days, yeah. Feels like a lifetime ago now, but...
NPC flying high
NPC.
once again. How they? Who did you play that day?
It was Auckland, actually, and it was a big Peter Saeli.
Oh, God, he could hit too. He's massive.
Yeah, big boy.
So you played league, didn't you?
Yeah.
League or union?
Nah, league.
League.
Yeah.
What what was your pathway? What was your journey? Where'd you get up to?
Highest I got, I actually signed with the Parramatta Eels. Went over there for a couple years, and then I had the exact same injury as Te Martin, bro. I had a bleed on my brain. So I had
wow.
Yeah, bruising and swelling on my brain. I was 19, went to the neurologist, and he said, if you have one more knock, you'll either be in a wheelchair or on the ground.
Wow.
So I called it quits then. And about a couple years later, Te Maire had his, and then like a few years later, he unretired. I was like, hang on.
How does this work?
Yeah.
Get the boots back out.
Yeah. But it was already too late for me. I was already Te Allen by then. Yeah, it's a pretty good gig.
So, boys, we also had the men's team play the Dolphins. I'm personally still not over it. It was a heartbreaking loss last minute. But yeah, look, I believe we have the highlights here. I don't want to watch them, but I guess we have to.
Well, this is just the last, heartbreaking last minute, because it is a roller coaster, isn't it? We've got to go down to come back up. So this is Jakey Laban, who's broken his leg, by the way.
6 weeks. 6 weeks. Poor bloke.
Potentially the season.
I'm a believer that if you're in a hip drop tackle and the player is injured, you should be out for as long as the player is injured. It's like Quinn Tupaia also was out for 18 months from a similar incident.
Yeah, so this is the last try here. You can see they've only got 12 players. We've also only got 12 with Liquor down on the ground. And this, I think everybody's holding their breath right now.
Yeah, look, that was painful. It still is. But I believe we have some footage of Liquor staying down, Jello. So obviously he had some bad cramp. I personally believe, unless you have a broken leg like Jakey, you should be standing up. But
well, Jakey had a broken leg and stood back up.
Exactly, he kept playing on.
So if those
Liquor's won us a few games this year, so it's probably fair enough.
Yeah, we'll let him off, but of course we're going to take the piss. So here he is there, lying down a back plate. I felt a bit sorry for him because I think he was in two minds whether to pop back up or not, because when the ball went the other way, he slowly started to get back up, but I don't think he wanted to give a penalty away. So he decided to stay down and keep himself out of the play, but of course we're going to take the piss out of him. So let's have a look at what else he's been up to this week. So might take a second to spot him there. Enjoying the sunshine of Bondi. What else has he been up to this week?
Bit of boot camp.
There he is. So it's probably a good idea to stay down in that situation, eh? Probably don't want to be popping up. What else we got?
I heard he also took a boat ride this week.
So there was space on the door.
There was room. There was room.
Yeah.
And I believe, he was doing a Tom Cruise sort of Mission Impossible number here as well.
Hang on, can I ask, what exactly is he stealing?
Great question.
That's a hell of a question. It looks like a big Sonos speaker.
Well, it looks like he's gonna take the 2 points, but the Dolphins have already taken it. Maybe, I don't know.
So moving on, boys, we also have the start of the NPC that's just been by, and we've got Lima Sopuanga, who him and Crude's the combined age of Jello. But look, Lima coming back his first game, he signed a $1 contract, I believe, with Waikato. And he pulled a hammy while he was running away to score the winning try. He might be a one and done.
Seriously?
He did.
I didn't know
He did,
that.
bro. You could see his grimace on his face after the game. But look, it was an important moment. And look, class is class. Lima's back.
Do you guys fire up for the NPC?
We actually watched this game together.
You were at the game?
No, I was at house. And,
Okay.
we were watching it together, and as soon as Lima come on, I was like, watch Lima do something here and he'll have a bit of carry on. And he managed to score the winning try. And now, to back that up, he's not playing this weekend because he's injured from his winning try.
I didn't know he was injured. That
Yeah,
makes
bro,
the story
it
so
was
much
hilarious. You could see the grimace all over his face when he pulled up to score. But is he someone you would like to you learned off in the past, Lima?
On the field? No, I know Lima very well. We were actually together in Japan the last few years, so
Nice.
it was awesome to see him come back and show that he's still got it, and iced the game for Waikato on the weekend. That was pretty cool.
Is he paving the way for people coming back from Japan?
Potentially.
Does this? So if you've bounced around and played for a few teams, like who do you support in NPC? Both of you.
The Turbos because I played there, and Bay of Plenty because I'm from there. So the Bay got a good one on Sunday.
So if they're playing each other, where does the heart lie?
If the game's in Tauranga, I'll be with the Bay, and if the game's...
You got a bucket on your head.
That Bay of Plenty team looking real dangerous too as well, bro. Would you say that they are favourites for the comp after coming up just short last year?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, because I was at the game and we saw Tasman run out and we were thinking that's a pretty handy outfit. And then the Bay ran out and they also had a pretty good team and they managed to beat them pretty convincingly. So yeah, I'll say they'll be in for a big year, especially after last year.
What about you, Teao? Who you support for NPC?
Bro, I yeah, grew up supporting the Turbos, and then I just followed Otere around. Yeah, so it's shining arcs now.
Yeah, wee man.
So I believe we have a clutch moment of your own up here, Otere.
Sam Knox sends it out wide, scrambling in defence now. The Bulls never onside as the call. That's gone forward. Speckman, penalty in front of the upright.
Down to the wire. A massive moment for Otere Black. Oh, he's raised his hands and over it goes. Heartbreak for the Bulls. Elation for the Blues. And somehow the Blues have come back. They've found a way to win this game. They scored 3 tries. The Bulls scored 2. But it's the Blues who've won at Loftus, 23 points to 21.
Wait, what's the atmosphere in South Africa? Like, do they love their rugby more than New Zealand?
Oh yeah, they're pretty up there, pretty hostile. Haven't played a test up there, but from all accounts, apparently it's the toughest place to play. Even like Super Rugby games there were very, very challenging.
What's that Stadium Loftus? Is that one of their main?
Yeah, that's
that's where the
yeah.
Bockies and all that play.
Yeah, that's where the Bulls are, and then Johannesburg is where that's like the Eden. Well, Alice Park is like the Eden Park of the Springboks, where the big plane flies over.
Did you fear for your life after winning that game?
Yeah.
Because I've been to South Africa and that place is fucking mad. It is an absolute different world, eh? I mean, it's the way that I described it was like the Wild West. You know, there was so much differential between poor and rich, and you got dudes driving in Lambos, and then on the other side of the road there's tin sheds. It's absolutely mental.
What's the like? Are you in compounds when you're there? Like, can you leave the hotel by yourself and everything like that, or you got to stay in groups?
No, it's pretty strict, and we got like securities and stuff that are with us all the time. And yeah, if we have to go in 5s or 10s, and can't go by yourself. But yeah, we're pretty much like a in and out job. Like you fly in, play in, and get out of there pretty much. So yeah, it can be pretty.
You said 5s or 10s. Does it depend who's in the 5 and
exactly
and who's in the 10?
Make sure you pick your group wisely, size wise.
Yeah, Paddy Tuipulotu in there, and
Yeah, he's in a 5.
yeah, he's definitely in the 5. So, boys, speaking of the Turbos, we actually got the markets for the quarterfinals up here in the NPC. And the Turbos obviously have been having a tough time the last couple of years. They've been, bottom of the table, but they are now $4. Well, that's not what Jello wrote down.
No, they're $4 to make the quarters.
$4 to make the quarters.
Which I think might be a great shout, but yeah, Tasman.
Look, they're showing pretty good showing over the weekend, so I wouldn't rule them out for sure.
Yeah, Tasman red hot favourites there, 375, but obviously beaten the weekend.
Oh, jeez.
There's the brothers.
Put the house on it.
So below that is Northland and Southland on 151, but I couldn't crop the screen to go low enough. No disrespect to the brothers in the North and South. But yeah, Tasman taken down already, so I guess it's anybody's game. You got a pick who might take it out this year? Favoritism
I've
aside.
got the Bay.
The Bay?
Yep, pretty good odds there, $5 too.
Yeah, very good odds.
So, boys, we also had the final Lions test on the weekend. We had the Aussies getting up finally. I personally think it's because the Lions were probably on the piss all week. But yeah, look. I remember Otere playing a gig when you played the Lions in 2017. I believe we have a photo of you and Vinny Arsaw backstage, I guess you could call it, after that game. But yeah, it was there. It is. Tell us about that experience, bro. Because I remember being in that stadium that night, and it was electric, bro. You had thousands and thousands of people coming over. It was a Wednesday night, I believe. Kim Hawiti Parapara, I remember he played that game as well. But yeah, tell us about, and that's me, that night playing, fucking aged a bit since then. But yeah, tell us about that experience, bro, because it's a very special once every 12 years sort of thing.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, I didn't realise how big it was until it actually arrived in New Zealand. You sort of follow it a little bit, but it's not until it's like actually here, I think people understand or realise how big it actually is. And they bring over like a massive support group as well. So you add that on top of like rugby fans here, it's a huge occasion. It's probably one of the biggest ones that I've been involved in.
For sure. I actually have a story about that day. I did a dress rehearsal the night before, and it was the day after the Manchester bombing, so I wanted to play a song for the Lions fans, Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis, and I did it at the dress rehearsal the night before, and then apparently the phone call went all the way up to the CEO of New Zealand Rugby that we can't be playing that because it's too pro-Lions. And so up until about 2 hours before the game, I was like, nah, I'm playing this song. And then I got a phone call from someone at NZR saying, you're never going to play another corporate gig in your life if you play that song. So didn't play the song.
So what'd you play, Dave Dobbin?
Call me loyal, baby. Call me loyal.
Oh, that happens, man. Before we move on from rugby, this was something that I saw this week. I thought it was bloody hilarious. It's so two stag do's. Oh, that's before we move on from that photo. That caught my attention too. Just an unfortunate photo. Bombing looks like a turkey hair transplant. But that's not what I was talking about. It was actually two stag do's in Barcelona meet each other in the streets. And this is the outcome.
Sheesh.
Can we play that again for that tight head collapse, please?
Fucking didn't think that one through, eh? I actually think the facials on the dude with the hair transplant sum it up perfectly, to be fair.
Now he looks like the dude with the hair transplant. Probably. All right, let's keep the show going. Let's talk about basketball for a second. The All Blacks, killing it. They beat Iraq in their first game at the Asia Cup, 100-78. So they're off to a flyer. They've got Philippines next, I believe. While we're on basketball, we're talking about All Blacks, mate. Shaquille O'Neal.
Speaking of All Blacks.
You got to meet the man in Las Vegas.
Bro, that was one of the most...
We're going to unpack all these Vegas stories in a second, but I just want to
okay.
dive into this one, yeah.
Yeah, we... After the fight, Kai was like, oh, bro, we'll go have some drinks. And then it was like this DJ booth, and then behind the DJ booth was like the VIP area. And like we're just chilling there. And then I look over, I was like, no way. And...
You looked over, or you just got eclipsed, like that just went dark all of a
I was
sudden?
like, where did all the light go? Yeah.
Definitely look up rather than over as well, eh?
Yeah, and then I asked Kai to introduce me and dapped him up. Yeah.
Who was he with? Was he...
He was DJing, so he was
okay.
just by himself, like in the booth. And yeah, went up for a handshake, and probably, I was thinking about it, probably the most famous person I've ever met.
Yeah, it'd be hard to top that.
Yeah.
The Big Diesel.
Also had the league this weekend, and there was a bit of scandal, boys, in the Panthers-Titans game, where we had a trainer of the Panthers trying to put off Jaden Campbell during his kick, I believe. See, this reminded me of maybe something T. Allen might do.
Well, the chat...
Kicking the ball.
The chat is that it was done by accident. So the coach is, it wasn't intentional, but just as he's moving in to kick the ball that'll put him up by 6 or up by 8, the trainer runs in the way and puts him off.
I don't buy it for a
Thoughts? Intentional?
Otere's a kicker, so I'm going to ask him. Like, if someone runs in front of you, was he moving yet?
Yeah, he's moving in. So it was almost like it was timed perfectly.
It's got to be planned.
Has to be, doesn't it?
I don't buy it for a second. I mean, when else have you ever seen that? Literally, it never happens. So, I think they were probably embarrassed that they might be about to lose to the Titans. And, yeah, look, they're breathing down our neck as well on the ladder, the Panthers too. So
they are, mate. But you know what? This kind of gamesmanship, it's raised the concern, because I went into different examples of gamesmanship around sports. Okay, yes, I was struggling for content this week, but let's see what we have. So let's start off with the Patriots. The 2006 Patriots, they brought this one way back after the season's finished. Even the year after, this was still under investigation. Tom Brady deflating the balls a little bit to make them easier to catch and easier to hold on to.
They were deflating the opposition's team's balls so that the quarterback wasn't used to throwing this ball, so they might be underthrowing
it's
them,
on the other
overthrowing
side.
them. Yeah.
You seem to know a lot about this, mate. Where were you in 2006?
Primary school, bro.
Okay. No
Primary
mastermind.
school. Tom Brady's a fucking cheat. But yeah, look, he actually paid off one of their junior staffers and still denies it to this day.
No, 2009. So this was Harlequins rugby. I knew nothing about this, but this was a big scandal. Did you know about this?
Yeah, of course I did.
Did you know
bro.
about this? Okay. For context, hold on, pause it there. For context. So what's happened is there's a rule in rugby that you can make a free substitution if there's blood involved.
There was a rule in rugby.
There was a rule in rugby.
Until this.
So this is teams trying to expose or exploit that rule. Let's have a look.
This was my first and only contact since I'd been handed the blood capsule, and it was therefore my opportunity to fake the injury. I returned to the fullback position and knelt down on one knee to bite the blood capsule. On the first attempt, the blood capsule fell from my mouth. I picked it up and bit it once again.
Who punched Tom Williams in the mouth? Tom Williams?
Who punched Tom Williams in the mouth? So the thing was, Nick Evans was injured in this game, and they needed to bring him off to give him some extra time to recover. So they put this guy on the field as a replacement, gave him a blood capsule to put in his sock. And the plan was, when the coach says so, he pops it in his mouth, blood comes out, he gets off for a free substitution. Now what happened was, while he was dropping it and fumbling it, he was spotted on the camera. And so as he's coming off the field, the other team's doctors said, hold on, he's got a blood capsule, like I know what's going on. So he's followed this guy into the changing rooms. So the guy with the fake blood is walking in the changing rooms with his doctor. The other team doctor's walking behind them. They shut the door, lock it, and then they're banging on the door because they know what's going on. And so he says to the physio, like he starts to panic, he says, we've got no out here, you're going to have to cut me in the mouth. She goes, what do you mean? So she gets a scalpel, cuts the inside of his mouth, and then he comes out and goes, look, like, what are you talking about? But by then, the whole thing's come out. They interviewed the coach after the game, he denied the whole thing. But yeah, it got really ugly. And that was 2009 Harlequins.
And speaking of things that we might see Te Allen do while in character, John Hopewade back in the day.
This is a different level of gamesmanship. So if the blood capsule was out in the open, this is, I don't know, this
is just crude. This is just blatant and brazen behaviour. And the thing about Hopewade, and it obviously became universally known as Hopewadeing someone, but he did this like 4 times to different blokes. I think it's probably just a kink of his at the end of the day.
Well, I think in 2001 he got in trouble, but then it's kick-started like a Me Too kind of movement, and everyone came forward like, me too, you know. It also happened to me, and they went back 3 or 4 years, and there's footage, there's videos, there's photos. It was a real hot topic in Australia that year, and I think a lot of people would still. Like every time you hear the name Hopewade, that's the first
There's
thing
only
you think
one
of.
thing you think of, and it's not his son scoring against us in the grand final. That's for sure. Yeah.
We actually have a mate. His name is Hops. And that's literally the reason why. It's Hops. Because he, like, when he was like 4 or 5, he used to go around and Hopewadeing people. And why it stuck was he was like 5. His mum told me this. And he went around, so he was at the cash register, and they're checking out, and she leant over, and Hops snuck around and gave her a Hopewade. And that we've called him Hops ever since. He's like 30 now.
There's nothing like a nickname that sticks for 25 years, let alone one from shoving your finger up someone's ass.
Especially when your name is nothing like Hops, like your name's like Simon or something, and they're like, why do they call you Hops?
Yeah, what's your last name?
I don't actually know what his real name is.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Iconic. Moving on from fingering bums. New South Wales Cup.
They've been fingering a lot of teams' bums this year. They had 14 in a row. But unfortunately, that run came to an end this weekend. 14-all against the second-place Dragons. But Teao, I wanted to ask you, bro. You've been working with the club a lot doing this Gatorade No Lips campaign. Tell us about working with the Warriors, bro.
Bro, I just want to preface, before I answer that question, I just want to apologise because I was in the bush like the entire weekend, like cut from civilization. So I haven't had any, I haven't watched any of these games. So my prep for this has been terrible.
That's why you're here. We're bringing you up to speed, mate. That's why we
Yeah,
brought
thank you for that. Nah, it's been cool, bro. And it's like this Te Alan character has kind of taken a life of its own, and like I get to really test the line. But what it is, it's really the real me. So I get to go to games and, you know, title fights and travel the world and just be myself under the guise of Te Alan. Yeah, which is pretty fun, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into that stuff in a little bit. We'll get through our recap, just bring you up to speed so you know what you've missed.
Well, what else happened in the weekend?
Mate, Liam Lawson.
Yeah, our boy Liam
Our brother,
Lawson.
Liam Lawson.
We've been, just to preface, we've been giving him so much shit all year. We actually did a bit where he was pointing to his eye and we were referring to him as Pink Eye Liam. But he's making us proud. He's finished 8th this weekend. He had an absolute shocker to start the season. He got fired from Red Bull. Yuki Tsunoda's taken his car and he can barely finish it. So it was clearly something to do with the car. But Liam now, he's getting some reps in at Racing Bulls. And I believe that's his 4th points finish of the season.
Yeah, that's right. He was 8th the week before, 8th again. So I don't know. Does he get 8th for a 3rd time in a row? Does he go up? Does he go down? We'll kind of see how he goes. But he did overtake Max Verstappen.
That's huge.
Which would have been quite
4-time
satisfying.
defending world champion in supposedly the better car. Massive for our boy. So we'll stop giving you shit for 1 week and we'll see how you go next week, brother.
Give him a week off, eh?
Lastly, Joseph Parker.
Yeah, I was hoping to announce that a fight's been settled, but it's still up in the air.
I read today that Joe himself reckons it's 20% going to happen and 80% he'll vacate the belt. But that got us thinking, Teao, bro. Obviously, we have the great man Kai Kara France in the building, who
yes, number one,
who you've been lucky enough to work with, and he brought you on his journey to Vegas in that title fight. Bro, take us into that, because I thought it was a really interesting journey. You know, you guys really focusing on bringing out the Māoritanga and focusing on telling stories and Kai's story. So take us to maybe before the fight first and then afterwards.
Yeah, bro. I've known Kai for a few years now, maybe about 5 years, and he wanted to tell a story that was, I guess, bigger than fighting, and tell the story of who he was and the journey he's been on throughout his life. And I guess what really resonated with others through his journey is that they could connect. There were so many others like him who grew up, not knowing te reo, being whakamao, embarrassed to connect with his Māoritanga and show that he's Māori. But that journey, what it did was he became, I guess, a beacon for others. I got, bro, hundreds and hundreds of messages saying, I relate to Kai, and I want to make change for my kids like he is for his. So he's, raising his kids with Te Ao Māori. His partner is now fluent in Te Ao Māori, has learnt it, and it was bigger than the fight itself, and we focused on that. And I guess for me, as a storyteller, that was the real win that I took away from that journey.
How does that conversation happen? Is it like, did he come to you and say, I want to tell this story? Or was it, knowing him throughout that period, you thought, this is what we can do?
I think it's a bit of both. It's knowing who he was and I guess observing him, not just in the 12-week fight camp, but over the last 5 years, and he's just gone from strength to strength and has embraced his taha Māori, and to a point now where he's the tauira or the role model for others. And I guess our way of storytelling is we don't go in with a predeceived idea of what the story is. We kind of let the story reveal itself to us, and we just tell that. So yeah, we had a chat about it, and he said, I want to tell it from a Māori perspective, from a Māori worldview, and I want to tell my story. So the first thing I did was take a step back and let the story tell itself, really. Yeah.
There's it's quite unique, the position that you two are in, because for a lot of, I say, our generation at 35, 40, whatever, there's a big disconnect. So it's like
maybe you, brother.
No. Well, there's like a big disconnect because our parents, I'm coming from a Cook Island Māori background. For our parents, there's a disconnect between the culture and, you know, this kind of new Western world that everybody's kind of pushed towards. We had Courtney Tairi on the show a couple of weeks ago. She's another one that was, you know, die-hard Māori, grew up in Australia, comes back to New Zealand to reconnect. But for you two, you don't have to reconnect. Like, you came up with it. Like, do you notice a trend in a lot of people reaching back and trying to reconnect?
Yeah, there's been a huge shift. Like, we were put into kohanga and kura, and our parents only spoke Māori to us in the 90s. And back then, there wasn't career opportunities in Te Ao Māori, and it wasn't really cool to know your language. We went to a high school, there was only 12 students, so we were kind of the weird school on the side, and our parents took a gamble, and I asked them recently why they, you know, raised us in Te Reo and Tikanga, and they said, oh, we knew being Pākehā wasn't good for you, so we thought may as well try teach you Te Reo Māori and Tikanga Māori. So that was our upbringing, and you know, we're 30 now, and what we're seeing is people like Kai bringing his kids up the way we were brought up. So I guess our responsibility now is to tell people, I see my parents in Kai and his partner Shards, and I see myself and his kids. And they're going to grow up with an unwavering confidence and an unwavering, I guess, belief and knowing in who they are. And it gives them, I guess, a step ahead, because they don't have to come back like Court, you know, after they've retired, to reconnect and relearn all the mahi's being done now. And I guess Otere could probably touch on it from a professional environment. I think it's now cool and trendy to know who you are and where you come from, and showing how unique we are to the world, and it's quite marketable. So yeah, I think there's been a shift in cultural identity and knowing who you are and where you come from.
So Oates, tell us about your whānau, bro. Like, you're a girl dad, and I believe we've got a picture of your family at Disneyland. Not Palmerston North, the actual Disneyland. But yeah, bro, tell us about your whānau, and are you trying to bring them up with those same values? Yeah,
doing what we can, really. I guess it's pretty challenging being in a foreign country, at the moment being in Japan, but we've moved home now, well, they've moved home, so I'll just relocate back and forward from Japan, and that's purely because we want our kids to be around their culture and around their people and their families. So that's a big move for us, and my kids are getting at the age now where they start school and things like that. So yeah, just to touch on what Te Ao was saying, like, we were very lucky when we were kids, and myself, I probably didn't realise how lucky I really was till I got older, to probably where I am now, how cool it was, because when I first sort of came through, I didn't feel cool at all, you know, because I was a Māori in all these different teams, and I was sort of the only one, so I was sort of a bit whakamā, a bit shy. But now getting a little bit older, I really embrace it, and to see our bro, Kai, really putting it out there, and to Alan showcasing all his things on a bit of a funny side, it's been really cool.
What's it like being on the international stage, like moving to different countries like Japan? You know, you've got players from South Africa, from France, guys from all over the world. What's it like having your own culture to represent? Because I always think this about Kiwis, it's quite funny, is like it's trendy now, it never used to be trendy. But when people leave New Zealand and they go live in London or something like that, all of a sudden it's like, well, what makes us Kiwi? Oh, that's right, all those Māori songs we were mocking and taking the piss out of. What's the words again? How does it go? Like Waitangi, they're out there butchering the haka. Like you see it all the time. But what's it like for you to, you know, to truly connect and, you know, represent who you are on in that international stage?
Oh, it's huge. I think internationally, like, everyone loves New Zealanders and Māoris, like especially living in Japan. Like recently, they love Māoris. Like honestly, it's amazing. And just recently, they had the Māori All Blacks play Japan up there, and it's like 20,000 people sold out straight away. Like they love it. They really embrace it. Like they'll go out there and they'll learn songs. They'll get to know people like personally, do little signs for them. So it's pretty cool.
Is there a lot of similarities between Japanese and Māori?
Yeah. A lot. In terms of like culturally, there's a lot, and a lot of their old traditions that they've had from the start, it's still happening to this day. So that's pretty cool to see, and it's pretty easy to relate to as well.
So your fifth season coming up in Japan, I noticed the team name you played for, the D-Rocks. How did they come up with that name?
Mate, I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Because I seen they have like dinosaurs and they're naming their team after cars and shit. It's crazy.
Pretty much what happened. So I arrived. The team was called NTT Communication Shining Arcs, which is I had no idea about. And then we went away for off season like this time of the year, about 2 years ago. And they said, "Oh look, we're going to have a Zoom meeting." Thinking, oh, yeah, this is going to tell us when we need to be back and do this and do that. And they just said, oh, we're going to rebrand the whole thing and name it D-Rocks. And that's pretty much all they did. And then the Zoom was done. And it's been that ever since. So I'm not actually sure where it actually comes from.
Well, it's better than Crack Rocks or... Moving on, Mitch.
So, Te Ao, brother, we've seen you've got engaged to your lovely fiancée. I did, we've got the photo here. I did notice, though, that was quite a while ago. You've been pushing that one down the line there, brother.
Yeah, bro, we have actually. And, yeah, no, that's my fiancée. And we've been together almost 10 years now. And she's actually the person behind everything, bro. In my space, I'm creative, but she does all the admin, pitching for funding and sponsorship and all of that. So yeah, I wouldn't be where I am without her. And my excuse is that social media doesn't last forever. You're only hot for a certain amount of time, so we're just making hay while we can. And yeah, that date is...
Speaking of hot, bro, we actually also have a body transformation photos here.
A catfish.
So, how do you do this in 12 weeks, bro?
12 weeks? Yeah.
12 months.
don't believe everything you see on social media, bro. But no, I'm actually... bro, I'm either way on or way off. Yeah. Like, and I'm actually doing a 12-week cut at the moment. And like Shane, he's been offering me drinks and...
I thought you were going to say Shane's doing it with you. Come on, get that shirt off.
And, you know, food. And I literally for 12 weeks, I'll weigh every single thing I put in my mouth down to the gram. Yeah. And it's tough. And then as soon as I finish, I kind of bounce back to Te Allen, to where I start. But what I do is I like shoot heaps of content in that time, and then I just slowly release it over 12 months. That's why Otere calls me the catfish.
How did you get going with the content? Like, is it just like a slow progression into it, or are you like, you know what, this is something like creative-wise, you've always been creative and you kind of found your outlet?
Bro, I'm either one extreme or the other. Like, either the biggest idiot, stupid, just love a laugh, or I'm actually really serious as well. There's like no in between with me. And I started my career at Māori Television in 2014, July. I started there, and in 2017 I did my master's degree. And so I did research, and I went around the, I guess, the media industry doing interviews, and what everyone was saying at the time was we need to create online first content. So this was like 10 years ago. They were looking at the online shift, and everyone was talking about it. And one of the last chapters of my thesis, I wrote, we don't need to make online first content, we need to make online alone content. So content that's created for the platforms, for Insta, for TikTok, for the different algorithms. Because what we were doing was still creating 30-minute TV shows, but just repackaging it and putting it online first. So I said, no, we have to make online alone, because it changes the whole dynamic, and it changes how the content, what it looks like and how it's made. And when I graduated, I was invited by, CEOs and Māori Television and TVNZ and the funders, and I was preaching all of this, but I wasn't practicing it myself. So I was like, went home one day, I was like, I'm gonna put this theoretical masters to the test, and I downloaded TikTok that day, and then I started making TikToks, and yeah, ever since then my life has been pretty crazy.
Have you found that was just an instinctual thing? Like, did you just trust whatever was floating about in your head and just thought, I'm just going to be myself and put that out there?
Yeah, pretty much. I started with the jokes that my dad used to tell me as kids. I was like, okay, these are pretty good. And then it's just repetition, bro, just putting out content. And I can tell you, I can create a 30-second or 1-minute video, and I could tell you how many views it's going to get, how many likes it's going to get, how many comments it's going to get before I even post it. And that's just through repetition of understanding what my audience...
Yeah, because I remember when we did our video for Kai's fight, it was very impressive, bro, because he didn't come in with any ideas.
Oh, yeah.
and then to see that creative brain in action, and straight away it was just like a magic idea. Like, I still crack up every time I see that video. It was super impressive, bro. And yeah, it's great to see, like a bloke from New Zealand doing his thing properly on that world stage and being authentic at the same time, bro. It's me.
What's the creative process for you? Like, do you just kind of have creative times where like, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do that later, do that, like keep a list kind of thing?
That's literally my process, bro. My brain ticks all day, every day, and like I try to highlight insignificant things that are relevant to as many people as possible, and that's the type of content I create. So, for example, we've all grown up in a house and someone drinks the last of the milk and then they put the empty milk bottle back into the fridge. Yeah. So I try to go about my day and highlight those insignificant things that people relate to, because the most important metric in social media is shareability. So if you can relate to it and the person who's viewing it watches it and they're like, Ote's gonna like this video, so
yeah, or the person that drinks all the milk, so you send it to them.
Yeah, send it to that person. Yeah.
And it's for you, brother. Like, you've had some pretty big injuries in your career, and you've come back and you've won Super Rugby, and take us into that mindset of being down in the dumps and knowing that this is not it. I'm gonna come back stronger than ever.
Oh man, yeah, I guess it's sort of just like, I guess for me the biggest thing was just the support I had around me really, and just believing in myself and trusting that everything's gonna be okay. And I think the timing was not really ideal for me. Like I just moved from the Canes up to the Blues, and it happened pretty much before I even put a Blues jersey on. So that was tough to take for me personally. But yeah, like I've got good friends, good family, good support system that got around me at the time. And luckily enough, like the trainers and things like that were really good, got me through it, and yeah, it's taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about being grateful for what I have and things like that, gratitude. And I was only a young guy when it all happened, so yeah, every now and then the knee gets a bit sore, but it's a lot better than what it was back then.
His pockets are too heavy for his knees at times.
The old Japanese knees, eh?
Yen.
Japanese.
Hey, yeah.
There's a video for you,
Yeah,
brother.
I'm gonna steal that. I will not credit you.
Mate, what was the decision to go to Japan?
Pockets.
Just pockets. Or what's your cue to come back? Like, have you got a set time or like a goal that you want to achieve over there?
Nah, not really. I don't really. I'm there for another 2 years, like 2 seasons, so I'll see that out. And then it's just depending on how we go, like as a family, because my family will obviously be back here, how the body's feeling. And if I want to carry on over there, that'll take me to 6 years, which is a long time away from home for me. So it'd be nice to possibly come home, but I'll probably hopefully be signed with Te Allen by then. But for the meantime, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and just pop in every now and then.
And tell us what it meant to put on this jersey here, bro, the Māori All Black jersey.
Oh, it meant everything for me. Like we spoke about before, like Māori All Blacks was my All Blacks when I was a kid. There was people that I could relate to, a team I could relate to. Everything about it just aligned with me. So when I thought I had a bit of potential and I could potentially play footy, that was the one team I really wanted to make. And it was probably the proudest moment of my career. Not only for me, but from where I'm from and for my family as well. It probably means more to them than it does to me. So yeah, it was a...
That's mean, bro. Teao, I know you like to have a hunt and get in the bush. How about yourself, Oates? Do you find yourself in the bush at all?
Oh,
Bro,
I mean,
I'm blind and he's deaf. So he's got good eyes and I got good ears, bro. I've been waiting for him to come home.
Perfect combination.
more of a land person for me.
We got a couple of your hunting videos actually, bit of content there. Let's have a look at these.
Parker, I've been through these lands. How do you know? We're speaking English.
Let's go, man. I like that. Is there we got another one there?
We must be getting close. Must be a big stag. I was wondering what type of deer eats corn. Me haere koe ki te tākuta.
Let's go, man. Are you guys actually hunting there, or are you just dressed up to shoot some
we were
videos?
hunting, but we never get anything, so we're like, we better come back with some content, so we just do skits in the bush.
Just as good, man. How would you rate your hunting skills?
Nah, no good. Honestly, there's this concept in Māori called called a pūhore. What is this, like misfortune? Yeah, it's what I carry, bro, a pūhore. But I love it, and I was given some good advice a few years ago from an executive producer. She said, create content for the life you want to live. And ever since then, I've created hunting, diving, and sports content, and I get to live a pretty cool life, bro. Yeah.
That's hectic, man. What was I going to ask you? I just forgot my question.
Sorry, bro.
I was also going to ask you, when you are out hunting, like, do you go out for days? Is it like, what's it like out there in the bush?
Yeah, like, because my job is social media, I'm not just the creator, but I'm also a consumer. I'm always on it, just looking for, just keeping up with what the trends are doing and what the algorithm's doing, because it changes all the time. And if you're off it for a week or two, you're so far behind. But I go there, I usually go somewhere where there's no service, so it forces me to just detach. And I was literally, from Friday to Monday, I was in the bush. And that's why I haven't seen any of the sports. Like, I usually watch all the sports, but I needed to unplug and go unwind and allow me to think about my thoughts. Yeah.
So we could be in World War III, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, nah.
You'll come back to Allen's enlisted. He's been drafted. He's off.
Sweet, yeah.
Sweet. Well,
We got a game that
we got a game. We want to test your hunting skills, okay? We want to test this misfortune. So have we got some weapons for our hunters? All right. So there's not a whole lot to hunt in the city, so we're going to be hunting bears. Okay.
All right. So these fellas are going to be shooting our lovely Speight zeros here. I'll be watching out for Te Ao's auto. All right, here we go. I'm good. All right, Oates is up first. Oh, here's Te Ao. No wonder you fellas don't catch anything. Round two for Oates. Closer, he's getting his range. Oh, I heard a ting! Te Ao! 1-0, this is for the comeback. Oh, two! That's two! No way! Oh, all pressure on Te Ao for the final shot. Here we go. Deathly quiet. Oh! Oates is our winner, ladies and gents. Ladies and gentlemen, please make a big Ao year. Thank you for these two gentlemen.
Actually, Mitch, before they go, I've got a gift for our winner. This is on behalf of our friends at Player Sports, who have actually provided me and Mitch's jerseys tonight, repping the Māoris. Mate, it's a little souvenir for you to take back to Japan. So literally the shirt off my back.
He just wants to get his rig out for you. Yeah, ladies and gents, please give a lovely round of applause for Otere Black and Te Otere Pewhairangi. It's been a pleasure to have you boys. Thank you so much. All right, Jello, pretty quiet week of sport coming up as we wrap up, bro.
No such thing, mate. You got to dive in and find the sport sometimes.
That's definitely what we've done.
Where we're going, yeah.
We got the Tall Blacks versus. Hey, there he is. There he is. Hey, he's finally finding the target.
Shoot it back, Rock. Rocky's got you now.
Our resident hunter. We got the Tall Blacks versus the Filipinos. I'm quite surprised as a Filipino over 6 foot that they can field a team. But they love their basketball there. They're absolutely mad for it. Fun fact, Manny Pacquiao is a...
He's playing point guard.
He actually bought his own professional basketball team in the Philippines so he could play point guard for it. True story.
Oh
True story. Legend. And arguably won his fight the other week against Mario Barrios, which...
still going.
He's still going.
How old is he? You know how old he is?
I think he's 46 now. An absolute legend of the game. One of my favourite fighters of all time, and literally got robbed of the world title on his comeback fight the other week. Warriors Bulldogs. Huge game for us, Jello.
Massive.
We obviously had the disappointment against the Dolphins. Panthers are knocking on the door. Sharkies are knocking on the door. We need this game. Big game against a team who did drop a game last week, but they've been right at the top the whole year.
Yeah, they've been flying, and it's a big game for them because they have had a little slide. They got beat by the Tigers last week, and I think it's a response. Everybody's looking for a response this week. They've taken the whole squad over. So the New South Wales boys, the NRL, I think there's 30 from that NRL squad, or like the whole top 30's gone over. So this is a week where they're trying to pull themselves together and get ready for a finals push. I noticed Wade Egan's not playing.
Yes, out indefinitely with a shoulder injury, a huge blow.
Massive.
But I love Sam Healy. I love what he brings to the team. Could probably work on his pass a little bit, but he's always a threat out of acting.
Oh, he's
half.
a runner, isn't he?
He's a big
runner.
But he's a runner, he's a track star.
That Bulldogs game last year, that was, in my opinion, probably the most entertaining game last year. I don't know if you remember, we had a man sent off, we had injuries, we had no wingers.
Lekker's debut
Almost scored that amazing match winner, wasn't to be, but I think Dallin nearly got into a punch-up with half the crowd on the sidelines too, so it was all action last time they played the Doggies, and I'm sure it will be all action again.
Yeah, I'm actually filming something with the Warriors where I can't speak for the whole game. So I reckon I'll fail within about 3 minutes of that one. But we also have the Wahine. They're playing the Bulldogs as well. 2 first-year teams back in the competition. Look, they're building very strong. I like what I'm seeing out of those girls. They're building and building and building. And, yeah, I wouldn't rule them out to sneak into finals football if they keep going like this.
I think you could already say it's a win. Like the coach said, we're not interested in winning games. We're interested in getting better. And to see where they are from where we thought they might be, it's amazing. And you're uncovering gems like, Avery Rose Carmont, Ivana Lauatiti, some of these debutantes that have come through already, there's plenty to love.
Yeah, I mean, look, these Aussie girls have been together for years. They've been playing State of Origin and rep football all throughout the year. To even win a game was a great victory for the club, but now they're starting to stack a couple together, so I'm excited for that. The Bulldogs are new to the comp as well, so maybe we can get ourselves our 3rd win. We also have Auckland versus Canterbury coming up this weekend. This is an OG rivalry, right? Well, I used to go to these games when I was a youngster, and there was more than 30 people in Eden Park. There was more like 30,000. But yeah, the Cantabrians beat the defending champions Wellington over the weekend, and Auckland, well, they fucked it up basically last minute. Lima Sopawanga came back and scored. My flatmate coaches Auckland, so I can say that without getting the bash from any of the players. But look, I don't see it happening, but I'm always cheering for an Auckland win.
Yeah, it's a tough one, Auckland, isn't it? Because you always think of it as being this rugby powerhouse, but they do struggle when it comes to NPC. You never know who's going to play. There's players going here and there, and I feel like they get pulled more and more in every direction. Did we have that Lima Sopawanga try? We didn't watch that, did we?
I don't think we did, no.
I don't think we did. That's all right. We'll save it for another time. He done the ice in his veins.
Yeah, like that was pretty sick.
Now it's ice in the hamstring. Anyway. Can still get the joke out, can't I? Oh, there we go.
Also, last but not least, we got the darts, Jello, next Friday here in Auckland with our very own Huapai Puha.
Oh, yeah. He's one of Gisborne's own, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But look, Huapai has been to a few World Cup of darts. He's our best. Can't remember the other Kiwi's name, but he'll be in the Auckland competition as well. So we're rooting for Huapai. But look, Jello, darts players, not typically the greatest athletes. We've got Stephen Bunting. He's 37, believe it or not. He's 37, and that is not AI. We also have Luke Littler, who's 17 going on 60.
He's 17.
But look, some of them look like you, Jello. Some of them are athletes. We've got Gerwin Price, the world #1, who's definitely had a couple cycles in his time. But that's going to be a hell of an event next Friday at Spark Arena.
How far away does he throw the dart from?
40 metres, eh?
Like a javelin.
Yeah, a little bit of roid rage in the face there. He used to be a footy player, but probably the only darts player on the entire tour with a cardio age that sort of correlates to their actual age. But that's us for the week, Jello. Thanks again to Te Ao and Otere for coming along. You fellas were great chat. A pleasure to have you boys on. Thanks to our sponsors, Speight, TAB, the One New Zealand Warriors, Scopic, and Jello's Guns. And we will be here next week as well. So thank you very much for coming along. Appreciate you guys and see you next week. Go the Warriors. Oh, that one backfired.